Mr. Foyle. Morning, sir.
Good morning.
I was expecting you half an hour ago, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Parkins is here, sir, the new Assistant Commissioner. He arrived early, so I put him in your office.
Thanks.
You must be Detective Chief Superintendent Foyle.
That's right.
Not a good start, if I may say so. I don't like being kept waiting.
Well, it's 9 o'clock, so we were told to expect you at 11.
No matter. I take it you received my letter.
I did. This is something about gambling, isn't it?
From the tone of your voice, I take it you don't consider it to be a matter of importance. Well, it is, I can assure you. In fact, I've received instructions at the very highest level.
What instructions exactly?
To crack down, Foyle. Look, we've got these pontoon schools everywhere. Not just in Pall Mall and Chelsea. Sometimes £10,000 changes hands in one night. They're in shipyards, factories, air raid shelters. And some workers are losing a month's wages in one throw. Marked cards, impossible odds. What you're talking about here is nothing short of organized crime.
But we do have a sergeant looking into it.
Just one man.
He's a very capable man.
I don't think that's good enough.
Perhaps you should wait to see the report.
I take it you're too busy to look into this matter yourself.
Well, I am, as a matter of fact.
Anything you care to share with me?
Well, you're very welcome to see the file.
Sabotage?
That's right.
And?
Well, there's been a fire at the munitions works, and another at the docks. Telephone lines have been brought down, and all by the same people, as far as we can see.
What makes you think that?
Just a feeling.
A gang of saboteurs working their way along the coast. That could be a serious business.
Not quite as serious as the gambling, perhaps, but...
I should warn you, Foyle. I've been told about you. You get results. You're a good worker. But you're also insubordinate. You seem to forget that you're part of a chain of command that stretches all the way back to London. Well, I'm here to remind you that you're not indispensable.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear it.
I shall be here for a week. I shall be visiting other stations. I've booked in at the Regency Hotel. May I borrow your driver?
Please do.
It was a UXB. Scared the life out of him. He choked on a chicken bone. So what's the new one?
I need Mr. Foyle's driver to take me to the Regency Hotel. Where is he?
Oh, that's me, sir.
What?
I'm Mr. Foyle's driver.
But that's not a police uniform.
Well, no, I was transferred from the MTC. I know it's a bit irregular, but what with war and everything, there was no one else.
It's more than irregular. A transfer from the MTC. It's unheard of. How long has this been going on for?
About 3 years. I don't mind, really.
It's not you I'm thinking of. It's police procedure.
Well, would you rather walk, sir?
I'd thank you not to be insolent, Sergeant. How far is it?
About half an hour. Uphill.
Where's the car?
This way, sir.
Morning. I finished my investigation of the South Coast. I have to get back to London.
Well, absolutely no intention of keeping you. Well, I'm primarily here to find out about the De Perez situation.
I'm afraid I can't help you. He's attached to the embassy, as he told you, and as such, he's beyond our reach. Spain declared their neutrality back in September '39. However, many of their diplomats, the consular service, the police, and the Coast Guard work for the Germans. I got this from a friend in Whitehall. He suggested we pass on what we know about De Perez to the security services.
And what will they do?
I doubt they'll do anything. They know who he is and what he is. Doubtless they have their own reasons for keeping him at large.
And so he goes free? Well, that's marvelous. They all go free.
What do you mean?
Well, him, Evelyn Richards, Lindemann.
Lindemann?
Lindemann.
You're not saying he was involved, are you?
I am.
What on earth are you suggesting?
On the day he dies, how does Michael Richards, in such an extremely good mood as a result of taking a phone call, come to be so very angry and violent so very shortly afterwards? If he goes to the research center with the intention of doing as much damage as possible, why does he need his best suit and a bunch of flowers to do it? How does a woman with no experience of firearms manage to shoot her drunk, violent husband so very precisely between the eyes in such a very premeditated fashion? I'm suggesting that she made the call to her husband, inviting him to the center with the prospect of an improvement in their relationship, where he was shot by a Lindemann.
And why would they do this?
Because they're having an affair, for which we do have proof.
It's not enough.
Right. Well, it certainly is for me.
Foyle.
Now, with this sort of thing virtually condoned for the sake of the war effort, a man guilty of coercion and sabotage can't be touched, while two boys guilty of nothing more than slipping off the rails because of a lack of parental control will get several years with hard labor. Assistant commissioners doing their very best to undermine me in front of my staff. Yep, I'd say I'd had enough.
Look, I know you and I got off to a bad start, Foyle. It was my fault, and I apologize for it. But it's not too late. We can have another look at Mrs. Richards. And I'll tell you what. You know a young woman, Lydia Nicholson. I have here a report concerning an attempted suicide. A recommendation to prosecute. You see, justice can sometimes be manipulated to help the individual.
Your justice, perhaps. Not mine.
Look, you can't do this. Damn it.
Assistant Commissioner Parkins. I've suggested to you that maintaining the law in a time of war is all but impossible. I've now reached the conclusion that I'm no longer up to the task, and it would seem, therefore, that there can be no useful purpose in me remaining in my position. I'm therefore offering you my resignation, effective as of now. I remain, sir, your obedient servant, Christopher Foyle.
Sure you don't want to join us today?
No, I won't, thank you. That's all sent to you.
We have a fascinating debate this morning. The question is, how do we get the message across? The English church, the German church, one family, looking beyond the war to the future, coming together again.
That would happen in time, wouldn't it?
No, Christopher, that's the whole point. It has to happen now.
Mr. Foyle.
Uh-oh.
What is it?
Trouble.
Oh. I'll leave you to it.
Thank you. Assistant Commissioner?
How are you?
I'm very well. You?
Yes, thanks.
A little overdressed for a church conference, I'd have said.
I'd like to speak to you privately. You haven't heard. Meredith was shot last night.
How is he?
He's dead. Milner was with him. He's all right. He wasn't touched. But Meredith died in his arms.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. I never met him.
I knew him well. In fact, I recommended him for the job.
Any idea who did it?
Not yet. We're not even sure that he was the target. In fact, it's more likely it was Milner.
Really?
Someone had a go at him just a few days ago.
Did they?
I was told I'd find you here.
Well, I know why you're here. And the answer's no.
I can understand that. But listen, this is completely unprecedented. The shooting of a senior police officer in the street.
Well, I understand that. The answer's no.
When you resigned a year ago, I was new to the job. I was trying to find my feet. All the facts of the matter seemed to be against you. But the truth is, I was a Colonel Blimp of the very worst sort. And you were absolutely right to resign. I beg of you to reconsider and come back. If only to discover who committed this terrible crime. We have to bring his killer to justice.
Milner's very capable.
I know that, and I agree. But did you know he's put in for transfer?
I did.
Well, therein lies our problem. This is difficult, particularly in the light of what I've just said. But I'm afraid there's been a certain lack of leadership in Hastings since you left. There is no one else.